You're watching the Hoosier Garage.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hoosier Garage. And we're going to be deviating from our usual course of video direction right now. And we'll have some updates on what's going on. But one of the big things is that we do have the Duster heavy construction done and out of the way. All the heavy sheet metal, frame rails, structural components, all that is contained, and now it's pretty much going to be going forward with a nice solid shell on that. But we will take a break from it first, and there is some other things that I'll probably have to do before we get into like the suspension and getting it back on its wheels. So there's just a little update on the Duster. I did want to have a little bit of a mail call. My cousin Mofo Driver, he does these, and they're actually, I enjoy watching them. So I thought I would try one. So the influences the influencer or something like that. This here is something I got a while back, and I've been meaning to show everybody, but I haven't had the right context to show it in. And so I thought I would show everybody this and kind of give this guy some props, because he is an artist. He's down in San Antonio, Texas. I just know him as like Louis Vint. He's on Instagram. That's how I know him. I'll put his information down below after I show the picture. But he sent me this, and he had posted on his Instagram, so you can see it on there. And let me pull it out of here. He had this side here, just some basic kind of colors, but really kind of neat. It's like colored pencil. But here's what is the cool part. He took a picture that I had posted in my van and did this awesome colored pencil rendition. I mean, he's got the scale on it like so good. It was set right here in the driveway. So this is Louis Vint, and I wanted to make sure to show that, and we're going to make sure that he sees the video. And I really appreciate Louis sending that to us, thinking about me and sending that to me, because that's really cool. So we will have this hanging up at some point, so watch for that. So I'm going to put it back with the other stuff here. We have something else here that's a little heftier, and this is from Barry, and Barry is known as Wednesday Church here on YouTube. So he's one of our loyals, I guess you can say. He's been really good to the Hoosier Garage. He's a fellow Hoosier, so I guess he feels represented. So. But he has a satellite much like this one. This is a 71. I think his is a 72. I'm not sure. I think it's 72. I might be wrong. But his is like very serious. I've posted pictures of it before. It's got the blower on the hood and everything. It's a really cool car. And he's doing some upgrades to it, and he's had some, little things here and there that he's run into. Some parts that he can't use, doesn't want to use or whatever, and he's offered them to me. And this is one. So we'll take a look at it and see what we got. Oh yes, and he ordered a hole puncher from Eastwood, and yeah, that's what this one is here, along with the other stuff. But they accidentally sent him 2 of them, and he was trying to do the nice thing and return it, and they was like, well, you're gonna have to pay shipping or something like that. So he's like, well, no, I'm not gonna pay shipping since it's your mistake. So looks like the Hoosier Garage has a new hole puncher that has nice slick action there. So we'll have to figure this thing out. I've never had anything like this, so this is kind of neat. We'll get it figured out and hopefully put it to use, especially when we're doing spot weld stuff, things like that. So that's what that is. So what we have here is not stock at all. They are upper control arms for these 71 and 72 B bodies, and maybe I think that section's in the E bodies also. The brand is SPC, and you see they're completely adjustable. They have the ball joint on them. They have Moog Problem Solver ball joints in them. Pretty lightweight considering all the. I always thought something like this would be heavier, but they're actually really light. Probably about the stock weight of a regular control arm, but I'm not positive. But it looks like a nice piece. He wasn't able to use these. I think he had some other components, and so he offered them to me. So we really appreciate you doing this. You didn't have to. You could have just sold them or whatever. But you're thinking of the Hoosier Garage, so really appreciate that. So we've got, obviously, you should have 2 of these for a set. We'll just take a look at the other one real quick. It shouldn't look too different. Autocraft. That came with it. I don't know if that's where he got it from. But yeah, we got the other side here. So my thinking was it would be nice if it goes on this car, you could maybe get a little extra alignment or adjustment out of the final product when we do eventually get it all together. Because this car, there's 71 Satellite. It was a 383 original big block plum crazy car. You see a lot of purple here. It had drum brake front end on it, so we'll have to probably go to disc brakes to modernize that a little bit. There's no sway bar on the front, but we have one lined up at our favorite junkyard out a couple counties over, and it's on that wagon. So we still need to get the bar, but we can add some stuff like this, because when you change the to disc brakes, I believe if it's like the A bodies, you got to change the upper control arms too. Well, this will be our control arms right here, so we'll do that. If not, then we'll have options. So that's what we got there, and we really appreciate it. So that'll be our little mail call section, and put the other one up. So we really want to thank Wednesday Church, aka Barry, for passing along some great parts and tools. That, and to Louis Vent for making the really nice piece of artwork of our van. And I wanted to bring this over here since it's really bright. It's like really hard for me to see. So here is our new t-shirts. Okay, I just got these in from our local t-shirt establishment. These are not Teespring. These are not Cafe Press. They're not anywhere online. They are literally about a mile away from, like, right there. There's a place down there that doesn't. And here's the back of them. Here's our artwork that I did recently. And if you want an idea how the print is, if you see that, if you can hear that, it's kind of almost like an old iron transfer is what it feels like. But I've seen these on a lot of newer shirts. They're much more durable. And the same thing on the front. So if you have recently, when I asked, given me a size and told me that you would buy one, I went by those sizes. I might not have the exact number, so if I don't have yours exactly, bear with me, I will get you some. But otherwise, let me know and I will get with you on your shirt. We've got this, the medium, large, extra large, double X, triple X, all that stuff. So that's what we got, and these are shirts. They are Gildan brand, so they're pretty thick. Sorry, they're pretty thick, and I like how they came out. So I'll be wearing one of mine at the Mopar Indie show here soon, and we're going to get into that in a minute. So let me know about the shirts, okay? Another thing that happened to me personally the other day was I got really sick. I thought I had the flu, the shivers, and all this other stuff. And that was in the morning, and then by the evening it got worse and worse. I was just like, I couldn't hardly control the body aches. So I work in a hospital, so we ended up going to the hospital that I work at, and they took really good care of me and got some things balanced out, and come to find out I had to get my appendix out. So I went 40 years without surgery, or at least with this anesthesia, and we have no appendix now, so the whole quality of this channel is probably just going to go right down the toilet. But yeah, I've got that, so I gotta go slow right now. I just take it easy. So we're not gonna be getting into some of our projects like we want to. One thing we got over here is a 69 Corvair we're doing for our friend, brother Ken. It's gonna get a lower quarter panel on the driver's side. Oh, let me just show you. So as I was saying, there's a lower quarter panel on this side. I've already cut it off. I actually started this last week, just late one evening, and cut the extension out behind it, which was mostly gone. He has the panel that goes here, so I have it pretty much cut to fit. I just have to fabricate the extension. I don't think they make them for these cars. He's also got an entire quarter panel, which is in the garage there. We're gonna get this one off and put that one on. And he's also got a front fender here. This one's, I think, full of Bondo. Yeah, you can see it. Hear that? Full of Bondo. So what's weird on these cars is you think that, you know, even though the engines are in the back, you think, well, maybe the fender's still bolted on. No, they're like our van. They are unibodied on also. So if you gotta get to here, you gotta cut it off too. So that was like a little experience for me of learning how these cars, like, they don't have that many bolt-on parts. They got doors, hood, trunk, and then maybe, you know, the balances and stuff like that. But that's something we're gonna work on. And from what I understand, I think Chris Testa told us that they use these in the Camaros, bucket seats. They had a lot of similar parts. Neat little cars. You know, they don't have the floor hump in them like we would expect with a, you know, a forward engine type deal. And you got like the fold down seat situation here. Brother Ken's been in these cars for the better part of 50 years, if not 50 years. He's also got a convertible that we will probably work on shortly, just to kind of get it back up to speed. It's blue, has a white convertible top, but we're just kind of get him in, get him out, so that he can get moving on getting paint on it and stuff like that. So that's what's going on kind of in the meantime. But like with my conditioner now, I just gotta slow down, and I can't get down on my knees and do all that stuff. It's too much bending around. One thing that I do have going on, that'll be in the next week, is the Indy cylinder head Mopar swap meet in Indianapolis. Granted, Indy cylinder heads is no longer in Indianapolis, they're in Ohio, which makes Hoosier Garage kind of go meh, but I'm glad they're still doing the swap meet, and they're still doing it in Indy, and I really enjoy that show. We're going to be up there with Kyle on setup day, so I probably won't be there when the general public will be, but the cool thing is on setup day, you kind of get a look at a lot of things before everybody else does. Mofo driver is hopefully going to be going with us. I think we're planning on having him go along. We're going to try to take the van, and just weather permitting. And I need to get some parts for this car, obviously some parts for the Duster. So what I'm going to do in one of the next videos is we're going to kind of highlight how we need to decipher what things we need from the swap meet, be it brand new reproduction parts, or we might need some old parts, and we just need to make us a list, because sometimes we do forget what we need. We might be looking for something else, and we're not looking at something else here that we do need. So we're going to discuss that, and then we'll go through the swap and see what we can find. So this car included, because it's going to be coming up, I'm sure, quicker than we think, with the way the Duster's moving along. And yeah, so hopefully that'll be an enjoyable, useful, informative video. And again, like I mentioned, we kind of gave the update on the Duster. This is where it sits right now. It's gonna just need a lot of the welds ground down just so they smooth out and they present better. And then it'll be epoxy primer. And then we're gonna paint some of the areas, like up in here and around the front with the original green, the amber Sherwood metallic. And hopefully we can start working on going towards getting a suspension back under it so we can set it back down on its wheels. But there's going to have to be some sandblasting and stripping and stuff like that done, and rear axle narrowing and all that kind of fun stuff. So it's not going to be necessarily easy, because we're going to have to build our sandblast cabinet. I want a larger one than what you really buy at any of a local establishment. So we're going to take an old oil tank, like furnace oil, you see behind a lot of farms and little garages and stuff. They're kind of oval shaped. We're going to take one of those. The lady across the street, she has one that's not in use, and I'm going to buy it from her, and we're going to convert it into a sandblast cabinet. So I have the compressor, I have some sandblast tools, so hopefully we can make that work with some fabrication, and we'll show it all here on the channel as well. And with the van, other than just maintaining it, which is really the part we want to get to with all of these cars, just maintaining them and keeping them on the road and having fun with them, is probably down the road. I've kind of had some ideas on what I want to do to improve it and just make it, just much more usable, I guess you could say. We'll probably keep the 318 in it. Whether it comes out and gets the short block rebuilt or not at some point, we'll see. It's running really good. I don't really like to disrupt things that are running good just for the sake of change. So, but maybe in a year or so, year or two, something like that, we might think to rebuild the short block, get the compression back up on it a little bit, maybe improve the pistons, and maybe put some metal block heads on it. Keep the intake that we have going on with the Performer, the smaller 4-barrel with the headers, and then we might use the cam that Lunar Outlaws Garage provided to us actually a couple years ago. It's a whole lifter, spring, everything. It's like an RV cam. So I'm thinking we might do that, and then on the drivability part of it, I might put a gear bender's overdrive add-on to it. I'm kind of debating that. I'm just talking to different people about what they think is theirs. But I think if you added that little power capability and also the cruising capability, I can maybe even change the gears at some point and have a more robust range of use for it. Because really, overall, it needs to be an over-the-road travel vehicle. So not a race vehicle, nothing like that. It's geared right now as best as I can really deal with for going down the highway. But it still turns some RPMs compared to newer vehicles. So there will be some upgrades on that at some point. And you always got to upgrade, right?
Thank you for watching the Hoosier Garage. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more restoration, tips, and fun.